If you watched my previous video about the lighting, I told you that we have like two main type of lighting. It's a hard light and soft light. And I told you last time, I told you about the hard light. Today I want to tell you about soft light. Soft lighting as a type of light that gives more balanced shadows, and transition between light and the shadows is more like a gradient and much smoother than with a hard light. Think of a soft light as how things look in a cloudy day, on an overcast day. When clouds create a diffusion between the sun and the object. It's a very soft, gentle, beautiful light. Let's see what can give you the beautiful soft light. If you have direct sunlight bouncing from white wall, the wall of the building, on the door, or white surface, white wall, that will give you beautiful soft light. Be careful. It's not like you can only do it with a white wall. Be careful with the colored walls, because if your wall has like any greenish color, it will cast the color on the skin of the person you take a picture of. That's why if we use reflected light, then we can use something like warm color, then it will give you more warm-ish reflected light, or we use white surface, and it will just bounce the sunlight directly on the skin, and it will be beautiful soft light. And actually, if you bounce the light, it can be only you can also use as a reflected light. You can also use big piece of white like cardboard, and then you can totally control the angle of the light that reflects on the object. A lot of people do that, and that gives amazing results. And like in this way, when you use the bounce light, reflected light, you have more control over your light and how it falls on the object and what shadows it gives and with which angle. Try that. It's fun. Also, sunlight coming from the windows as an amazing sort of soft lighting. I use it all the time, and this is my favorite type of lighting. Natural light as well, outside, sun, but be careful if you take pictures outside. It's be careful that the sun isn't too harsh. If I shoot outside, I prefer to shoot in a like overcasty day. I like this. If I need to do the pictures outside, I like this soft, gentle light, because it's very hard. There is no way we can control the light when we work with the sun. And when the sun is too high up and it's harsh, I don't like to use it for portraits. Because I can't move it. I can move it further. I can move it closer. I can change the angle. It's just impossible. So if I shoot outside, I prefer to shoot in an overcast day. It makes it much more easier and much more pleasant to take pictures, like to do the portraits. Soft light is more flattering than the hard light. It's more forgiving. And it's more forgiving than a hard light, and it requires less experience of working with the light. So I believe that it's much easier to work with a soft light for the person who has like little to no experience of working with the light. Soft light can help you to hide the wrinkles. Right now I shoot this video with a soft light, and it's very flattering. It has a really smooth shadows. and you can't really see much wrinkles, I hope. And it will hide acne. It can hide defects of the skin. It will bring out the light in someone's eyes. This light widely used in shooting portraits, fashion photography, travel photography, food photography, you name it. If you look at the paintings, like portraits, you will see the great examples of soft light. It's great to use the art to study the light. Just open the art book with paintings and look at the light, how it falls, how the light falls on the face, on the subjects, how, like, what it brings, because it brings the dimension. It brings, it can help you to shape the body, shape the face, because it really depends on how light falls on the face. I will tell about this in the other videos. This is not the topic for today, but if you want to practice soft light, the light is always available, starting from the time from the sunrise to the sunset. It's always available for you, and I think it will be a great practice if you're just starting working with the light and you want to learn more about it. Just bring your subject to the window. It can be the person, it can be an apple, it can be a flower, it can be anything. Just set up the photo space next to the window and work with it. And try to move your subject closer to the window, further away from the window, and see what it does to the subject. Take the pictures. Move if it's a complex shape. If you have a subject with a complex shape, move it away from the light. Turn it towards the light and see and study the shade, the shadows, study the lights, study how it change the object, the dimensions of the object, like how the dimensions of the object, and see how visually it looks different with a different lighting. If you take a picture, if you take a portrait, move the angles with which the light hits the face, and see how it changes the face. See the difference. It's easier to do with a person when they take a picture of the person, to change the light, how the light hits the face, rather than with the object, because again, you can't move the sun, and it will be the big difference depending on how light, the angle with which the light hits the object, like the angle. And if you take a portrait, it will make the difference if you change the angle of the face, different directions, and see what it does. Play with it, work with it, study it, and see what it does. It's a great way to start, and I wish you luck in this. I wish you fun with this, and thank you again for watching me. I'll see you next time. Thank you.